Hello, welcome to my home. Today we're going to make something very special. They're called Brighten Your Day Muffins. They're my number four daughter's favorite muffins. And they're pretty easy to make too. I love the muffins with stuff on top, and that's what these have. But it's kind of an unusual method. You're going to put all the flour in the bowl first, and this is 2 1/4 cups. And then we're going to add our sugar. And this is 1/2 cup of white sugar plus 2 tablespoons. And this is a packed 3/4 cup of brown sugar. See, I packed that in really good. Then we're also going to add in a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of ginger, and a teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. And we're going to, you can just do this by hand if you want. And because muffin recipes, really the secret with muffin recipes is not getting them very mixed up. Because anytime you overmix the flour for muffins, then you're going to end up with kind of a tough muffin. So you want them very tender. I'm just breaking up the sugar and making sure all the spices are evenly distributed in the flour. You could do this on the mixer if you wanted, though, this part. And then we're going to add our oil. And you get it pretty, but actually a few little sugar clumps in the muffins, that's okay. You're going to get like this variety of flavors and textures in your muffin. That would be just fine. So that looks pretty good. And this flour today, the muffins that I already made was with regular flour, but this is with gluten-free flour. So this is 3/4 cup of oil, and you're gonna mix that up, and you're just gonna mix it up until it looks like it's all evenly blended. And then after this is all evenly blended, then we're going to take out a 1/2 cup of this mixture, and it's going to be for our topping. So that's what makes this kind of like, you are doing something different for the topping, but it's so incorporated in the recipe that it seems like it's easier. So I'll show you just in a minute how to do that. So this is like all pretty chunky and pretty blended right here. You can see that. So we're just going to take a 1/2 cup of that and put it in another bowl. And then this teaspoon of cinnamon goes in with that. And then we're going to mix that up. And this we're going to reserve for our topping. So that's what makes this one kind of like a fun recipe. So you still have to do something on the side, but it's so easy. It's kind of funner. Okay, now the other part for the rest of this recipe, what I've done here is taken a tablespoon of vinegar and put it in my measuring cup first, and then I'm going to make it into 3/4 cup of milk. And with my vinegar, I already added it, but my lid is about a tablespoon, so I don't even use a measuring spoon for that. So that's what this is, and I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And you can see it's kind of like a yogurty type texture. So that's really nice. And you can use buttermilk if you want, or soured milk. If like milk goes bad in your fridge, you can go ahead and use that too, you know, when it starts to curdle a little bit. This is 2 eggs. I'm gonna whisk that in. And then this is 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And whisk that in. And this is a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm gonna put that in there too. And then we're just going to barely mix in this into the muffin mixture because we want it to be a very tender muffin. So we're just going to do as little mixing as possible for this. Okay, so just make sure it's nice and blended though. And you can kind of tell, you can kind of feel with it when it's evenly blended beyond even how it looks. You just kind of feel that the weight of the batter is kind of even. And if you do it by hand, then you don't run the risk of overmixing. It's kind of easy to overmix in the mixer. So that looks like about right. That's good. good enough. Okay, and then I like to use a cookie scoop. This is like, maybe it's an ice cream scoop, but it doesn't work for ice cream for me. So I use them for my muffins and my cupcakes, because it just, I feel like I have a little more control over it. You want to do about half full, and you're going to preheat your oven to about 375, and these cook for probably 20 minutes. So in about 20 minutes you can have some beautiful muffins that are going to brighten everybody's day in your family. And so this will do about, this recipe will do between 12 and 18 muffins, just depending on how full you do your cups. This morning the ones that I did with this recipe was about 18, so that's about 12 right there, and there's some batter still left over. And then I'm just going to take the topping and kind of evenly go over the muffins. And you could use like a cookie scoop or a, let's see, I'm not doing very well with this, a little cookie scoop or a spoon or something like that. And then you get this beautiful texture on top of your muffins, and the kids are going to love them, your friends are going to love them. This is a favorite muffin recipe. Everybody that tries these just loves them. So you're going to have fun serving these to everyone. So put that in your oven, and then you get to have, it's a delicious spice taste and smell. And I think my daughter had 4 of them this morning. Enjoy your muffins. Thank you for joining me.